Wednesday. I hope you can hear me all right. I'm so sorry for starting late. It is what it is when you live with other people and you can't plan that day. So here we are. I hope everybody is doing well. I'm excited to get some work done. I have a motivational talk with me. So he'll hopefully not distract us too much, but we'll see. But yeah, how you all doing? What are you all working on? Let me know. Hello. I'm so happy to see you. And you also here. Hello, Daisy. Editing some more words and brainstorming for my new nonfiction book. What is it about? If you want to share the deets, if you don't, that's also fine. I'm currently working on a short story, which has now turned into a novella. Oh no. I have a friend and she was working on a novella that then turned into a full-length novel. It happens. It happens. Not to me. I'm an underwriter, but I hate it happens to some people. What are you going to do with the novella when you're all done with it? Hi, Kira. Good morning. Working on my work in progress. Desperate to get 2,000 words since I failed at that yesterday. You still got words in though. You worked on your story, and that's what counts. I think it's a good emoji to have, even if you didn't want it there. So, okay, my comments are not loading. Hold on, because I have YouTube up. Oh, there we go. It's fine. It's a working emoji. YouTube was like that needs some yellow. Normally underwrite too. You know what? Character development, maybe. I don't know. As long as you're having fun writing what you're writing, then I don't really think the word count should matter too much. Gonna be reading A Wizard of Earthsea until I need to go. Oh, that's so fun. That's on my eventually I want to read that list, but I have too many books that I already own that I haven't read, so I have to get through those first. Okay. I'm just going to charge $1 more and it'll be fine. Yeah, that sounds great. Hold on. I was gonna find the timer that looks the most like our theme, so green. I don't always want to use my timer, but at the same time it is the same color, so I think we might just do that again. Oh shit. Can't full screen it. Sorry. If you haven't guessed at this point, technology is not my friend. Hi, Anya. Welcome. Thanks for being here. Sorry I didn't actually stop by your stream. I was doing about a million other things. Okay, there we go. 25 minutes. But how are you doing? How was the stream? Was everybody productive? Were you productive? Do call in. Okay, how about we hop into our first sprint? In that time, I will then also hopefully pull up the question of the day and stuff like that, get some food. That's my plan at least. Do let me know what you're working on if you haven't yet, and happy sprinting, my friends. Okay, so that is the end of our very first sprint, which I almost didn't catch. How did everybody do? If you want to share, if you don't, then that's also totally fine. I was working on the social stuff for, well, the social stuff. I was posting the pictures I hadn't posted before. Which brings us to today's question, which is, what advice do you have for newer authors? If you want to go ahead and share that, you can also wait until we're in the next sprint and we'll talk about it after that sprint. Also, while we were sprinting, oh, where's my cursor? Okay, there we go. Sorry. Both Nina joined us and Xenia did. Hello, welcome both of you. Thank you for being here. How are you doing today? And there were some pleasantries exchanged between our angry Austrians. We love to see it. Daisy got some new words. That is awesome. Good job. How far into this new book are you? Call it. Nina listened, if the common wants to pull up, listen to the audiobook. The author killed a fucking dog. I'm so mad. Oh no, who is it? Let's go. No, we shouldn't be mean to authors just because they killed dogs. Sometimes that's probably well done. And did walk. Okay, walk sounds good. You also did do post to Instagram in your stories though. So not just walk. I was only here for 4 minutes, but I had a great eureka moment. Oh, that is awesome. That is great. What are you working on? If you want to share, if you don't, then that is also fine. Got 199 words. That is great. Good job. I just realized we are like halfway through the month. So between today and tomorrow is like halfway through the months. I guess tomorrow is the midway point, but you know what I mean. So, how's everybody's month's been so far? I need to close this. I'm just wearing a top, and it's probably pretty see-through. So, sorry. Yeah. How's everybody's month's been so far? I feel like I'm doing good on like consistency because I've written every single day except for yesterday. But my word counts have not been great. I've only had 3 days that I had over 1,000 words, and some days I've only had like 24 words. So, great for consistency, bad for actual word count. But I also wasn't sure what I was working on. In the beginning of the month, I thought I was working on like my big fantasy universe, but I've now decided to move back to a story I've worked on previously and rewrite that. And since deciding that, I feel like I've had really good word counts, but that's because I'm rewriting instead of drafting. So that's me. Advice for new authors? I'd say find the genre that you're good writing at. Oh, I was initially writing fantasy sci-fi, but then discovered I'm a better romance writer. That is so interesting. So you'd put what you're good at over what you're passionate about, or are you also passionate about romance? Because I personally also write both, and I love both, but I couldn't imagine myself writing like contemporary that has like no romance and that's like very dark. Like that's just nothing I could like I'm passionate about, even if I was good at writing it, you know? I'm searching for novels or movies where the narrator doesn't remember if they killed someone or not. Any ideas? That is what happens in my novel. I want to know how those writers did it. I can't think of a book, but not to spoil anything, but the latest season of You is pretty wild. I don't know if you've seen the first 3 seasons, but our main character kind of goes around and he's not a good person. He's kind of very stalkerish and does kill people. And, that's the first 3 seasons, which I also enjoyed. But the fourth one that just came out, that is wild and might be kind of what you're looking for, I think. The character is definitely very troubled and has a lot of mental issues. So, I will keep an eye out, though. How can you not remember if you kill someone, though? Sorry. No, I'm sure there's millions of explanations for this. My advice is try different things. Don't be scared to write stuff that sucks. You need to practice. Don't just talk about how you want to write a book. Actually write it. Yes, that feels like a call to action. Big fan. Yeah, I will finish posting the other questions next sprint. Good. It's a fantasy novel about a contract with a dragon. Oh, I love a good dragon story. Oh, that's so exciting. My advice, don't be me. Thanks. Oh my god. That Velen. It's quite a momentous month. I flew to Ireland yesterday. Oh wow, that is so cool. I love Ireland. Are you there on like holiday, visiting people and like exploring, or are you there for like work purposes? Um, the new project is still very young. I'm mostly just brainstorming and hoping a structure will fall out. Valid. Very valid. Um, oh no, I'm a voracious male romance reader, and I write my own fantasy romance. I love the genre too, and I find romance easier to write. Okay, that totally makes sense. Yeah, I personally think I also find romance significantly easier to write, but I think it's because you can like you don't have to put emphasis on so much of the things that you created. Like yes, you create the characters and stuff, but you don't have to come up with like a world and a system and magic or whatever else. So yeah. Yeah. I know they show you, but haven't seen it yet, so we'll have a look. Yeah, as I said, like the first 3 seasons, they're already really fucked up. But I think the specific trope you're looking for is mostly happening in season 4. And if you don't want to watch all seasons, I'm happy to give you a recap of the first 3. Um, if you'd like that. Granted, also changed a lot as a person, and my reading preferences have too. That is very valid. I have found that I have quite a few contemporary voice and romance, so now I tend to write that. Even though I started out writing exclusive fantasy and sci-fi, I only wanted to write like sci-fi and fantasy, and now I'm also working on romance. So I have that in the first book of my work in progress. Not in the world yet, though. Well, I'm sure you guys can have a little chat about that though, if you both want to talk about that. Same for me. I've been very consistent in March, but I'm only at around 20,000 words for the month. Hey, 20,000 words for a month is still a very good month. If you always have 20,000 word months, that's like more than 200, almost 250,000 words for the year. So, doing good. My protagonist has a blackout from alcohol and finds a murder weapon in her bedroom. Oh, ew. That poor person. I hate that for them. What are you doing? You want to come say hi? You have a dog. Whoop whoop. We also have moving boxes, but we're here for the dog. Hmm? He just had a banana, and he's kind of salty that I woke him from his like after breakfast nap too early. So, um, just go back to sleep. Sounds just like my luck. I hope not. I really hope not. This is my second home. I have tombs, Ireland, and Pakistan. That is so sick. That is so cool. How do you decide where to be? Like, is it specific times of the year, specific places? Oh, I want to have 2 different homes in different places. And I think probably Ireland would be high on my list of places to move to. Um, I don't know if it quite outbeats Canada, but those are like the 2 top places I would move to probably. And yes, I adore dragons. Though I feel like a lot of books that have dragons count on the fact that people think dragons are so cool and are lacking in a lot of other like parts of it. So I don't know. Good dragon books are good. Other dragon books are not good. Yeah, I definitely had to work on my voice. Sounds old timey is difficult for me to this day. Thank you. Thank you. I'm sure he appreciates that. Anyway, as much as I love chatting, I think we should probably get back to the productivity. I am happy to go the extra half an hour that we missed at the beginning at the end, if that works for all of you. If you want to pop out earlier, that is also fine. Stop! What do you need? What do you need? Hmm? You just want some attention. And it's okay. I can give you attention once we're in the sprint, okay? Okay? Yes. Okay. How about we just do the same sprint again? I know I'm boring. We always do the same sprint, but I think it works. I think it works. So I hope you all have a good time sprinting, and I'll see you in 25 minutes. Happy sprinting, my friends. Mhm. That is the end of our second sprint of the stream. How did everybody? Oh, I didn't mean to put the last sprint banner on. I'm so sorry if that confused anyone. That was not the last sprint. We're doing more sprints. Sorry. Um, but yeah, how did everybody do? Um, I posted to Instagram, and then I did the logistics of tonight because I'm visiting my friend and then picking up my mom, and there's gonna be pizza and maybe stuff like that. And then I opened my document and read through what I have so far. I am in the rewriting of the second chapter. The second chapter is about 1,500 words, and I'm 800 words in, so we're like halfway through, pretty much, which is really cool. It doesn't feel like I'm actually working, and this first draft is significantly better than I thought it was, but at the same time, I'm aging it up. So this is like a pretty young middle grade, no, pretty young YA, and I want it to be a new adult. So there's just details I have to change, like how people speak to our main character and when like the name is referred and stuff like that. But not a lot of that is happening so far. I think I have another chapter, maybe 2 more chapters until that becomes relevant, and then I'll have to do more changes. But up until now, there's very few changes, which is very good because that means easy work for me. While we're spending, Elizabeth also joined us. Hello, welcome. We are very happy to have you. And then Elizabeth wrote 332 words for that one. That is amazing. Good job. Well done. We also got 209 words. That is awesome. Good job. I did good. Fixed stuff in the outline and then started working on the moments plan. Oh, awesome. How long are your outlines usually? Because mine so fluctuate. Like for the one that I currently have, I just have like a couple of lines per chapter, which is fine. But there are ones where I have like really detailed chapter descriptions and some where I just have nothing. So I think I'm still learning my perfect way to outline. And that's okay. I think we're all still learning in some ways, right? Right? Please say yes. Yeah. I also saw Nina post the rest of the questions. So, if you didn't know, the Seasonal Writing Challenge does have an Instagram account, as we do a YouTube account. If you want to follow us over there, we just post the daily questions there and like cute little graphics, and like we also have like story stuff where you can post it. So if you want to be more active, you are absolutely welcome to do that. You don't have to though. We also technically have a Discord, but I'm not good at Discording, so Daya's trying her best though. So long. Each chapter outline is 1,000 or more words. What? How many? How many words do the chapters end up being? Because that is 1,000 words. That sounds like you're just pretty much rating a chapter in the bare bones, and then just have to add like description or something afterwards. Wow. I feel like I'm learning for every book. Definitely. Okay, I'm so happy to hear that, especially with someone who has so many books under their belt and is so successful with it. I don't know. I feel like every new project I start or write on, I feel like a fraud because I'm like, okay, I've done this before. We've been here, we've drafted, we've edited, we've published. I've done that. But also, I'm like, how do I do this again? But I'm happy to hear that it's not just me. I missed the end of this sprint. Oops. It's okay. You have work to do. And you did do work. And an audiobook. Awesome. Did you ever tell us which audiobook, or were you just complaining about the dog? I have no idea. It's basically like every single action dialogue, except it is not written as prose. Okay, so it is almost like the chapter, so you know exactly what happens, and then you just have to make it sound and look like a book, basically. You write it, and then you have to make it look like or sound like a book. Okay, that totally makes sense. So your outline really almost is like your zero draft, and then you do your first draft, which is then actual prose and yeah. Okay, I see that. How long does your outline take then? Because that's really for you the main part of it, right? Because for me, definitely it's still drafting. Um, um, well, I don't want to say what it was, so no spoilers. Okay, they're not. Yeah, that's it. Just okay. Awesome. That is so cool. I wish that was me. I wish I could work like that, but also I hate editing. So if my brain thinks I'm editing, which my brain would think I'm editing in that case, it will not function. So just me things. Okay, I'm gonna pull up the correct banner this time, this one, and the question in case other people would like to answer that haven't. And then we can hop on into our next sprint if that is good with everyone. I think we can do two more sprints. So this and then one after that will be the last one. If that is good with everybody, as I said, if you have to pop out earlier, that is also fine. But for now, we are gonna hop on in. I hope you have a great time with your work, and I'll see you in 25 minutes. Happy sprinting, my friends. Mhm. That is the end of our third and second to last sprint. How did everybody do? Let me just get rid of this banner. We don't need it. We're not currently sprinting. What are you doing? My dog's been a little bit annoying, but that's okay. We love him. I wrote 619 words and finished the rewrite of chapter 2. This is such an emotional one. I love it. I love it so much because the story I'm working on has ghosts, and the second chapter. So my main character's father owns a ghost shop, where like ghosts get to work and stuff like that, and they get paid and all this good. Like they're really good people. And the second chapter is him like kind of releasing a ghost. Are you all right there? Could you just lay down, please? Please, just chill. Okay. So they're releasing a ghost, and it's so special because both like my main character, she has always grown up around ghosts and she loves them, but her father also loves his ghosts, and it's very emotional because it's kind of like a funeral, but probably on a different level, and it's just very emotional and meaningful, and it's beautiful. I really 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 like this chapter, and I think it's so impactful because it is so emotional. So I love it. Chapter done and quest off. um while we were sprinting, we got some more advice. My advice is to write frequently just to build the habit so you can actually finish things, which will give you a lot of satisfaction and pride. When I was a kid, I wrote very little and infrequently. I totally feel that. I was always writing, and I was a big fan fiction gal, but I would like bulk write and then just post it and never be consistent with it, like at all. So I feel that. I totally feel that. Also, this is my first novel, and I've done shorter stories before, but this process, it'll probably be done with the prose by the end of next year, which is totally fine, totally fine. Yeah, I don't mind if it takes a year or 5, because it's not about getting it done fast, but about making something I'm proud of. Exactly, I totally agree. I totally agree. I used to be like, oh no, you have to write, like, for myself, not for other people, but for myself, like, oh no, I have to write at least so many books and publish so many books in order to be, a successful author, and I just, bullshit. I don't. Annie talked to her mom who needed help with publishing her children's storybook. What? Tell me more. That sounds so exciting. That is so exciting. When I first like told my mom that I was like trying to self-publish my books, like she's known I've always written, right? She was like, when you were really little, I was also writing like in my spare time. And I was like, that is so cool. Come from a family of writers, practically. Not really, but she never really did anything with it. And I don't know if she lost her spark or just didn't have the time with like caring for 2 kids and always animals and full-time working and stuff like that. But I like to think that when she has a little bit more time, she'd get back to it and like let me help her with it too. So that's so cool. Do let us know when that is happening and how that is happening. 275 words. Good job. 853 words. That is amazing. Wow. Nina did the same as before and hopes not to feel nauseous anymore after work, so she can go to Starbucks with her friend. Otherwise, I will play Sims. You do that. Oh, I'm having this thing which is kind of like it's supposed to be a full meal in a like drink kind of a thing. It has like a bunch of nutrients. Anyway, that's not the point. But I got this in the coffee flavor, and this is so good. When I told you I would drink this like every single day, it tastes so good. I had a Starbucks yesterday, and like this is probably just as good. It's just a cold brew coffee flavor. It's so good. Anyway. That wasn't a plug, but I love coffee, and I love when other people make it for me because I'm lazy. Great, I managed to get an idea for a scene around that part, and I almost finished a jokey script version of it. Awesome, fun. Do you write chronologically your stuff, or is it just whatever pops in your head and then you'll make it work later? But I won't leave work until like 3 p.m. I mean, that's only like 3 hours to go. You got this. I was too lazy to write it in my usual outline way. I will fix it into my outline later. I'm sure you will. Not everything has to be perfect like right from the start. You can always just make it work however it works at that moment. I'd also advise to try different writing advice. In the beginning, I listened to Pantos who taught me to just keep writing. You can fix it in editing. That works well for many writers, but I'm not one of them. It took me some trial and error before I found a process that works for me. Same. Like, I think that's also what I said in my post. Like, yeah, you can listen to other people, but in the end, if someone is trying to force an opinion on you, they are not helpful at all. And it doesn't matter if really successful authors do something or like a lot of authors, I feel like especially in like the indie author space on YouTube, like the a little bit bigger author tubers, a lot of them seem to have really similar processes, and they seem to be using a lot of very similar products and programs, and that is all good. And I'm happy that all of that works for them. But if it doesn't work for you, then that doesn't mean you're broken or you don't work. Like Save the Cat, I like Save the Cat, but the beginning part of the book, like the outline, never works for me. Like ever. I always find myself just being in a pickle and just hating absolutely everything about it. So trying things is great, but if it doesn't work, move on, try something else and find your own process. So I absolutely 1,000% agree with what you're saying. And yeah, trial and error is part of that. And it might take you longer, and in the beginning, it might take you a year to outline a book, or 2 years to write a book, 3 years to publish a book, whatever it is. But that's okay because you're working on yourself and figuring out who you are and how you work and what's best for you going forward. And that's significantly more important than like pumping out those words and pumping out those books. So this part is specific was a eureka moment and involves alternating the events of a previous chapter. Usually it's chronologically. Yeah, I also work chronologically because I honestly think like I think it makes my story better just because I know what information I can rely on. Because I didn't always used to do that with my very first book. I used to like jump around a lot, and I'd like write a scene like after the midpoint. Then I'd go back to like the first act, and I'd have to figure out how to get the information that my character has now after the midpoint sprinkled into the book. And it just that's not how my brain works. So stay in your lane and don't compare yourself to others is another thing your authors need to hear. Absolutely, yeah. I think the whole comparison thing is so hard, especially if you have a lot of friends that do similar things. Like Kira, I think you were here in the beginning, is an amazing author, and I would like to compare myself to Kira because we write a lot of the same things, but at the same time, Kira has so much more experience than I do, and so much more like in her process that works for her than I do. So maybe it's realistic for Kira to publish 3 books every year going forward, or 4 or 5 or whatever, but it's just not for me because we don't have the same level of experience. And even then, Kira is doing a lot of things like marketing, which I'm not doing. So she's finding the success that she rightfully deserves for the work that she's putting in. I'm not putting in that work. Therefore, I can't compare my success to hers because we're not putting in the same things, if that makes sense. So, yeah, totally agree. I love to Save the Cat beat sheet, for example, but Scrivener is just not really working for me most of the time. Writing's so different for each writer, and that's what I like about it. Yeah, exactly. I love Scrivener, and I could not imagine living without it ever again. So, all that for us. Yes. I would be happy to show you how I set up my Scrivener if you would like to try again, but if you don't, then that's also totally fine. You don't need an expensive app like Scrivener or Papyrus, but I write all my books in OpenOffice or Google Docs. You don't need to spend money to write books. I 1,000% agree. I wrote my first series on Word, and I used to have so many Word documents just because I like taking notes and I like doing things in specific ways. And I just think that for me, Scrivener works because I get to break it down and I have everything in that one document as opposed to having like 5 different ones open. But I understand not everyone is aiming for that. So, I want to be that person that uses Google Docs, but I don't. I want to be using it for like beta readers. So I'm writing in Scrivener. I will be editing in Scrivener, but then I want to move it to Google Docs, get feedback there, finish it there, and then put it to Word for publishing. That is the plan on how I want to do things. Don't know if it'll actually happen though. Now that write at your own pace. Just because people do nano doesn't mean you have to do nano. Correct. Writing a book in a month consistently is not going to work for almost all people. Correct. Y'all, this is such a good stream for advice. Also, you can sell a mediocre book if you play the social media game, right? Leave me alone, Netflix. I hate this because I love writing and I hate marketing. Oh yeah, I completely agree. Marketing is so hard, but I also just don't care enough. Like I'd rather be focusing my time on writing the next book and like putting all I have into the book than spending that time and money and effort and brain capacity on marketing because it's about the writing for me. And I've had this realization recently that I am not in a position where I am making any income as an author pretty much. So this is my hobby, and as a hobby I should be able to do what I want to do and not be forced to do things that might mean that this could be a job in the future, you know? Um yeah. But there are a bunch of not great books that sell very well because of social media and marketing. So um I have had such a hard time getting that mindset out of my head. I feel like if a book takes me longer than a month to draft, it is useless, which is stupid. Very stupid, but I feel like it's kind of almost what we're conditioned as in this space. And I feel like this ties in with toxic productivity, which there's also a lot of in here. And don't get me wrong, I don't think a lot of people have bad intentions. Um, but if seeing other people write their books in a month and that kind of being pushed, like that being the narrative that is the supposed goal of everyone, that can be very overwhelming. And you can feel like you have to do that when you don't, which is why I started the season writing challenge, because I thought it would be fun to have all different types of goals and we can all come together and write and have fun and be productive. But there isn't that one looming big goal, right? Like some of us might be writing 1,000 words a month, some of us might be writing 100,000 words a month, and that's okay. We're all here to just be productive and do what we love. So, yeah. Yeah. I mainly use Google Docs. I'm a big Word user too. Easy to save docs and organize them for me anyway. I agree. I also think Word is really good for publishing, but that just might be because I don't have a like Mac and can't buy the publishing or like editing. No, not editing. Vomiting program that I like to have. um, you're not the same at 20 years old as you are at 2 years old. If you can't criticize a level 2 human, you can't criticize a level 2 writer. Experience makes a difference and it takes time. That is so well put together. I love that. Absolutely. If nano stresses and pressures you, don't do it. Come for the community and the motivation. And if it puts too much of a strain on you, leave it. Exactly. I do love the idea of marketing. I have not much of an idea, but honestly can't wait to learn about it. You can market my books for me. I'll write yours for you. There's a lot of toxic grind set productivity stuff in the writing social media stuff. There is. And as I said, I don't think most people mean it in any malicious or bad way. It's just how we all think it should be. And, we kind of have to break the stereotypes sometimes. Every first draft I've ever written has taken me at least 3 months. It doesn't mean I can't take less for some people, but it also means there's space for people who take longer. Yes. Yes, yes. Oh, I want to do stick snaps. Anyway, I wanted to give up my theater kid book after about a month due to not being done or even close. It's only because of you that I actually finished it. So happy that you did. Okay, I feel like that was a really good discussion and conversation, and I would love to keep going, but we also should probably do our last sprint. So if that's okay with everyone, I would hop into that one now, and then if anyone else would like to keep chatting with me, we can also do that. But I would like to get started into the next chapter because I have a hard time starting a new chapter from scratch, and now the story's still in my head. So I at least want to start the next chapter, even though I'm just rewriting still. Now the last sprint banner is appropriate. Okay, so let's go back here. Oh, I already did that. Well, okay. Awesome. Well, I hope you have a wonderful time writing, and I'll see you in 25 minutes. This is our last sprint. Happy sprinting. Nina, do you want to wrench? What were you wrenching? that is the end of our last sprint of the stream. How did everybody do? I finished my stuff for the day. Thanks for these friends. Thanks for hanging out with us. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I gotta go. Thanks for the stream, bestie. You're welcome. Also, you were wrenched. If you want to wrench whatever you wanted to wrench. 777 words for that one. Thanks so much for the sprints. I got lots of. Thank you for hanging out with us. You get some amazing word counts. Bye, Anya. Thank you for hanging out with us. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. I got 306 words and did some communicating with some different people, which doesn't quite put me at 1,000 words for the day, but I'm only like 80 words short. So I count that as a win. I do count that as a win. And I did all the social media stuff, which was really like on my brain. So I'm very happy with that. I have about almost. I have almost 2 more hours, so I'll definitely get to those 1,000 words. Hopefully 2,000, we'll see. But yeah, 257 words. Good job. That is awesome. I will be back on my channel, Author and Sophie. I think I'll have to comment earlier. And it should also totally be linked in the description if you want to check it out on Friday at noon CET, which should currently be 7 a.m. EST if you want to come hang out with me there. And I think that's all. I'll be on Callie's channel Ink Study this weekend for some fun games, which I don't know when that is, but it's later, like at night, I think. So that's happening. And yeah, that's me. Everyone did really, really well. You are absolutely correct. But 1,000 words for this stream. I'm very pleased. That is amazing. You did so well. Well, I hope all of us that want to keep writing can keep writing now. I certainly will. And as I said, I'll be on my channel Friday, 3Nuts on Mondays on Michael's channel. And I'll be back here next Wednesday, hopefully on time. I'll try to, plan my day a little bit better. Then all of that should be no problem. But for now, I am going to go. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, a great weekend if I don't see you before. And I do hope that I get to see you again very soon. Bye, my friends.